Hello and welcome to Now. We are live from the outskirts of Goodwood with SD in the corner of your picture. We are looking forward to day 3 of glorious Goodwood, and already on day 1, SD has smashed in another winner at 12.6 to 1 after a Rule 4. Tatterstall winning some sprint race. I smashed in with an 11 to 1 winner. Everyone's amongst the winners. SD's well in front, over 130 points in front since March the 22nd. Incredible stuff. Right, SD. How did day 1 go for you on the course?
Oh, we came along with bucket loads of money. Absolute bucket loads.
And what was the
we needed Securicore. Good to see Dragon Bet at Goodwood today. It gave us some free headphones. Lovely man, Dragon Bet. The only man betting a quarter in the ring.
And I was using the Mick Walsh pen. A long way from Mick Walsh charity is Goodwood, but we're still spreading the name as we go. So, yeah, good day. You had a second late on as well, Katie Content. Was that each way or win?
No, that I think you're on about something on Thursday, sir. The sun's got to you.
Anyway.
The sun's got to him.
Right, Thursday. The feature race on the Thursday is the Nassau. We'll get to that in time.
Nassau, you woik.
What's it the capital of? Is it Barbados?
Bahrain.
No, definitely not Bahrain. Bermuda. It's in the Caribbean.
It's somewhere abroad.
It's a long way from Bahrain. The ground was pretty quick on Tuesday. They changed the going twice during racing. It's now good to firm all over. There is a yellow warning for thunderstorms on Wednesday and Thursday. So fingers crossed they avoid that. Proper summer racing ground on Tuesday. So long may that continue. First race on Thursday is the 150 10 furlong handicap, where Approval is the selection of myself. Did too much too early at Royal Ascot for William Aggis, Tom Marquand. Dropped £2 for that, which I thought was slightly generous, given finished 7th in that good Royal Ascot race. Approval beat Lord of Love by over 4 lengths at Windsor on his start before Royal Ascot, another 5 lengths back to the rest. And Lord of Love actually runs Wednesday this week, but has won 2 races since Approval smashed him. £6 higher in the handicap since. I think Approval's been forgotten in the market a little bit. You can get 12 to 1 each way, 4 places. What are you on in the opener on Thursday, SD? Move into the picture.
Not yours.
Come on.
But he was drawn bad at Ascot. This thing about inside draws at Ascot is a complete fallacy. You want to be drawn outside. Palace Green got absolutely no run at Ascot. Wasn't one of Oisin's better rides. I think with more luck, he'll have a chance here. Was quietly fancied at Ascot. I don't think a mark of 90 is beyond him whatsoever. Must have a chance, and I think 13-2 is perfectly fair, to be honest.
15-2, SD.
15-2, bloody hell! As for the fractions on course,
you can see Palace Green being popular because the Racing Post comment reads repeatedly denied a clear run. I don't know if it was that bad. I've watched it back today. I like Approval. He did too much too early at Ascot, I thought, and I think he's a good horse on the basis of his Windsor performance before that. On to the 225. This is the Richmond Stakes over 6 furlongs for 2-year-olds. I spent a while looking at this, and I was a little bit stuck between a couple of horses. The conclusion was to take on the 11 to 85, the Striking Viking, that has been bought by Wafnam Racing recently. Was he bought before or after his run at the Cura? He ran over in Ireland last time.
Yes, he was bought after. Yeah, he was with Kevin Ryan, wasn't he?
He's been transferred to that.
Standish's greatest jockey, Tom Eaves, was on him that day. I remember him riding in bumpers at Huntingdon.
Well, he's been moved.
I know his dad from the betting shop, Peter Eaves.
He's been moved to the Qatari trainer in Newmarket that hasn't had too many winners, but he's likely to get a lot of Wafnan runners as time goes by. But yeah, I'm taking on the Striking Viking. He's 11 to 8, top of the market. The next 3 in the market could all feasibly win. And I was finding it hard to split them, really. Tropical Storm ran a big race in the Norfolk at Royal Ascot, racing for much of the race on his own. Billboard Star is another likeable Eve Johnson Horton 2-year-old, puts his head down and works hard, like his sire Maymas, actually, in that way. But at a lower level than these and at a bigger price than those mentioned is the Waco Kid. He's the one for me. He ran really well in a deep-looking novice race at Newbury 12 days ago. All the top yards and top owners, if you like, represented in one of those typically good Newbury novice races. From the front, eased down late on, quick ground, absolutely fine for him. Oisin Murphy rode him last time. Ryan Moore's booked to ride him this time. He's got a really good record for Hugo Palmer, unsurprisingly. The only question mark for the Waco Kid for me is that this is his 3rd run in 26 days, but I'm happy to take a chance at 10 to 1 each way on the Waco Kid. I'm going to amend the name on screen.
Not the Waste Kid. I agree with you on this jolly. I think this jolly is an absolutely feral price. Cannot have that at 11-8. Look, he may go and win, but Jesus Christ, they've taken no chances with him, have they? Billboard Stars form has a bit of substance, of course. Won a novice on quick ground at Newmarket, and then subsequently beat a Murray City, who's gone on and win a group race today.
And he won that well.
Yeah, makes Whistle Jacket look good. I don't think a Murray City beat much, but nevertheless, I think 6-1 for a horse like that is pretty good. Charlie Bishop takes the ride on that. I just want to chance one at an absolutely ludicrous price at 66. Intrusively, ran really well behind a Maury City, only beaten half a length at Nottingham on his first start. Then got a bit upset at Haydock. I was there before he went in the stalls, and subsequently ran a dare. I think 66 might be a little bit too big. I think that's ridiculous. Holly's doing the steering. Ed Bethel, who had a terrible time at the end of June, start of July, is firing back in the winners. He isn't one to overface horses, and at 66, that looks pretty good to me.
Fresh off the back of tipping a 33-1 winner at the weekend, SD smashing in with a 66-1 selection there. Yeah, it's all about taking on the favourite, in my opinion. 11-8 is way too short, and a couple of darts from me and SD in that Richmond. Right, moving on to the 3 o'clock. This is the Gordon Stakes, often a precursor for a St. Ledger horse or a St. Ledger contender. This Jan Brueghel for Aidan O'Brien, Ryan Moore, might have been the most impressive neck-winning distance so far this season. That was at the Curragh. Just got home close, got up close home, crying out for a further trip, which he's going to get. This is a much different test to what he got last time at the Curragh, let's be honest. Quicker ground, 2 furlongs further, which he wants. But saying that, I do think he'll win. The others aren't good enough. I will be backing him, but I'm going to be doing him in a double for the first time in a very long time, SD. There's going to be a double advised, but I think you fancy him as well, don't you?
I think he'll win. I hate doubles, by the way, because, of course, the punter is worse off at the start when you're betting at less than a more than 100% book and you multiply it. That's why I don't like doubles, but I can see where you're coming from with Jan Brueghel, who, of course, was a Flemish painter 500 years ago.
Yeah, there is Wikipedia on his phone.
You don't see this normally. Yeah, so Jan Brueghel the elder. Look, he was very good first time up at the Curragh, and then he absolutely pissed in, and it was all right last time as well. I think he could be a Ledger horse. I'm not too worried about the opposition, and I think he'll cement his place in the Ledger with a fairly facile victory. I wouldn't normally put them up at 11-10, but I do think, if I was betting to 100% book, he'd be 4-6 with me.
I do think there's still some juice in his price for the Ledger. I think this is their Ledger horse. Los Angeles still tops the Ledger market anti-post, but they were going out their way after the Irish Derby to say he is more classy than a Ledger horse. I don't actually know what that means, but they were at pains to say it. So it might mean that Los Angeles goes for other racers over a shorter distance. But yeah, Jan Brueghel is 11-10. And sticking on that theme of him, I am going to be tipping up the double. Jan Brueghel and Opera Singer double. It comes out at 7-2 at the moment, and that'll go down as official 1-point win selection on the double. I was of the thinking that Emily Upjohn was gone at the game before her run at the Curragh, where she somewhat bounced back in that Pretty Polly Group 1 last time. She settled slightly better in that Curragh race than her previous 2 starts, but it's still an issue. She is refusing to settle in races, particularly at Meydan on her first start of the season, and particularly at Epsom, where she was pretty shocking. Settled a little bit better at the Curragh, but still not perfect. I think that's a big issue. On pure form, I think Opera Singer probably doesn't deserve to be as short as she is. But the presence of the apparent back-to-form Emily Upjohn holds her price up a little bit. I'm kind of contradicting myself a little bit here, but I just think Opera Singer will win, quite simply. I don't think anything other than Emily Upjohn can win this race. And Emily is unreliable, and Opera Singer is just purely a better horse, a better class of horse than everyone else in the race. So Emily Upjohn helps with the price. She's about 15-8 at the moment, the Opera Singer, and I think it's worth putting in a double. I'm keeping the faith in her. So on form, does she deserve to be that short? Probably not. She's probably about the right price, but any shorter than that, 6-4, 7-4, Opera Singer would be too short. I think she's classier than the rest. The only threat is Opera Singer. The only threat is Emily Upjohn, and I think she will blow her chance because she'll pull again.
I think you've got that wrong. On a couple of points, I think the main reason I'll tell you something. I don't like this Opera Singer at all. The dam produces horses at a mile or less.
She's
that's
crying out for further.
That's a fact, and that is based on various things. Yes, she might be in the Arc and other races and the Irish Champion. However, she didn't necessarily run like it at Ascot, did she? And therefore, Elmalka, who was staying on like an absolute train at Ascot, it was like the Mallock coming home. I think 10 furlongs is made for Elmalka, and I cannot figure out why she's 12-1. I wasn't particularly keen on Emily, but I wasn't particularly keen on Opera Singer either. I mean, Elmalka thundered home, absolutely thundered home at Ascot, thundered home in the Guinness. 10 furlongs will be a trip. I think 12-1 is perfectly fair for that horse. 100-8 if you're on course, of course.
I'm not sure about Elmalka.
Well, she's not got a lot to find with Opera Singer, and I think of the two, the step up in trip will favour her.
No,
for reasons outlined.
No, I think Opera Singer is crying out for it.
Well, the breeding doesn't suggest it, does it?
Yeah, a running style is, mate. She ran and won over a mile as a 2-year-old. Ryan Moore on that day said that she'll be back next year for the big one, i.e. the Arc. She's been entered in the Irish Oaks and the races like that, but her season started a bit later than others. She's crying out for it for me. And it's just one of them that I don't usually do, but it is a kind of Aidan O'Brien faith bet, like you did the other week with River Tiber in the July Cup. I just think Opera Singer's more.
I didn't put her up as a bet. I didn't put him up as a bet.
Yeah, did you not?
No.
I think Opera Singer is classier than the rest, and she's more reliable than Emily Upjohn. That's my angle. But you're on Elmalka, 12-1 each way. Fair play.
Yes.
Fair play. The latter races at Goodwood on Thursday aren't that great. There's a couple of fillies races, fillies condition race, a fillies handicap, not great. But SD, so this is the Thursday preview for Goodwood, but SD is putting up one for Wednesday at Redcar. Tell me about it.
Oh, yeah. Great track, Redcar, of course. John Sanderson was clocking until a few years ago. He's in his 80s now. Amy Fair runs.
What's that got to do with Hurtswood in the 225?
It's not in the 225. Get your bloody times right, you oi.
425.
Look, I have to say, I think Hurtswood. I think he'll, if he gets a run, he'll run well. He ran at Ripon last time on the wrong ground. Absolutely useless. Good ground, no good. Good to soft, no good. Good to firm, you're absolutely fine. 2 from 5 at Redcar. I'm once fast ground, very well weighted off a mark of 55. I think it's very tractable. Now back to his last winning rating. I think he'll win, and he's probably the best bet on Wednesday. And of course, speaking of Wednesday, of course, viewers, Tim Bigger Than the Machine Brown will be at Goodwood in the Lennox enclosure.
And he'll be bowled over with interest as a result of SD.
Yes, I'll be down in the Lennox enclosure with the less well off and trying to win some money.
Well, it must be said that viewership is going up on races now, mostly courtesy of this man for putting up 33 and 16 and 12-1 winners.
It was 14
flying.
And we got rule 4. It was a bit, the cowl horse couldn't handle the start.
Yeah, you got.
It was a bit shit, to be honest.
Yeah, and there was a horse that stood in the stalls in that race as well, I think.
Yes, fair wind and at Haydock on Sunday.
Yeah, so there you go. Live with SD. Are we going to be back tomorrow?
I think we'll be. We'll have to hurry up tomorrow because I'm going to the Indian and you're
I
running
am not.
me.
I am definitely
you
not.
You can run us.
Maybe if you're lucky. Right, okay. That's it. Thanks for tuning in and
enjoy your evening.
And you need to go to the bar again. There you go.
Cheers.
Crack on. Right. See you
Bye-bye.
later. See you. Bye.